Hello, guys. She Loves God here. Have you ever had difficulty sharing the gospel with people? And maybe you were a little offended by how disinterested they were or how nonchalant they were about what you were telling them. I mean, you were telling them that, essentially God came down, became a man, died for our sins, and that our sins are very grievous, and that the end is coming, or their death date is coming, whichever comes first, and they will have to give an account to this God about whether or not they received his son. If you're like me, you've had this problem, that people you would tell, they were kind of just like, yeah, I hear you, yeah, someday I'll get saved someday, but they didn't really understand the gravity of what you were saying. Well, I stumbled upon this, what they call a cognitive bias, known as curse of knowledge. And I'll just read some of what it says on Wikipedia. An example of the curse of knowledge is demonstrated in a classroom setting, where teachers or subject experts, teachers, have difficulty teaching, newer young students because they cannot put themselves in the position of the young student. A brilliant professor may no longer remember the difficulties that a young student may be encountering when learning a new subject. So this is what happens, when people who are very familiar with the gospel, very familiar with God, when we're trying to share the gospel with other people, we forget that it's not easy. I mean, we're coming from the position of a spiritually living, spirit-filled, born-again person, and we're frustrated with somebody who is spiritually dead and blind. And we have to understand that they're not going to understand how we understand it. You heard the song that says, I'll never know how much it costs to see, I'll never know how much it costs to see my sins upon the cross. God knows how much it costs, but we don't understand God economy. We understand on earth the cost of a tablet or a cell phone or a shirt, but we don't understand the value of what God blood would cost. And so God, because he's so gracious, he understands our position, our lower down position. He understands they don't really know. So we may hear the gospel more than once before we're expected to receive it. Because God understands we don't really fully comprehend or appreciate the cost of it. But the hard part is that for those of us who do understand, we're left with what they call curse, or the burden of knowing something is valuable. And this is the hard part. That person and you will, until he gets saved, you will always be at odds. You will always know how precious the gift of God was. But they won't understand. And so I have to look at them with love in my heart and with forgiveness, with compassion, all the while giving total respect to what it costs to put him on the cross. And so it's a burden we have to bear. I've shared the gospel with friends for years, and they still have not received it. And I have to still love them because I understand, Misty. I know you love this person, but they don't have a clue of what you're talking about. They don't have a clue about what it meant to put Christ on the cross. They don't have a clue about how much their sin cost. They don't have a clue. And I have to still love them. So the burden is actually on me, not them. It's on me because I have to just bear my burden. As a photographer, for example, I take pictures for pay. And I take people's pictures sometimes, and I may tell them a price, and they may be like, that much money to take pictures? They think I'm just pressing a button. Click. They don't understand I have to go home, sort through hundreds. I take hundreds of pictures. I got to delete the bad pictures. I got to edit the okay pictures. And I got to make sure the good ones don't have, the lace front ain't on right, how mine is. I got to make sure the teeth showing right. The blemishes, I have to do all this editing and stuff. And so I understand that the person doesn't understand how much goes into photography. All they think I'm doing is just pressing a button and uploading it on the cord to a computer screen, posting on Facebook. But I have to understand as a photographer, and all other photographers can have empathy with me and sympathize with me that, yeah, I know your photography is worth much more than that, but these people don't understand that. They don't know nothing about cameras, photography, and editing. They think you're just pressing the button. And so it's my burden as a photographer that's charging them. I have to make my prices something that they can agree with, because if I tell them what it's really worth, they couldn't afford it. They wouldn't even pay me. So the same thing with that. I have to understand that the person I'm taking pictures of doesn't understand. So I have to, understand that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.